There's fire in my blood. Do, 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 do. Okay. Slash look. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, guys. On okay. Perfect. We're chilling now. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let's get this rolling. Let's start looking at our pairs. I want to see Bitcoin and I want to see ETH. Let's get them both up here so this looks smooth and we're primed and ready to go. Clearing everything to make this look good. Now, this is going to be very, very interesting to see here. All right. So, starting off with Bitcoin and ETH. And I want to do something covering how we are moving at the start of this new year. So here's 2024. Now here is 2025. All right. And I'll do the same thing on ETH. Where is 2024? ETH compared to Bitcoin is actually ridiculous. So ETH and Bitcoin, obviously, you could see the clear dominance between how last year performed on Bitcoin compared to how this year performed on ETH. Major, major difference. Now, we're in an interesting spot here, specifically on ETH, and how this monthly candle is going to close here. And this monthly candle is going to be a massive, massive tell for us in regards to how we're going to be depicting where these crypto markets are going to be going to. Now, if we lose this monthly gap on ETH, my personal opinion is that we're about to get ramsacked. Like we're going to see if this monthly gap is closed off in March, we fail to have the body stay within here. These lows are going to get taken out, and then all of this resting sell side liquidity below us is vulnerable because the structure behind how price is moving on ETH does not look good whatsoever. Doesn't make me confident. Doesn't make me want to like think that price is going to be bullish. Now, ETH being as weak as it is, Bitcoin is still within this monthly bullish fair value gap. Bitcoin dominance has been a huge factor in regards to how the market has been trading. Like if we look up ETH BTC just to see look at this. This is actually absurd. The dominance on and the weakness out of ETH has been outrageous compared to Bitcoin. And we actually just ran this monthly sell side liquidity pool. Now, obviously this could still sink lower, go down here, but if ETH continues, like ETH BTC continues to sell off, then Ethereum will stay weak. But if this recovers and price starts to trade higher again, then Bitcoin will become weak and will replicate what's going on previously with ETH's drop aggressively over the past couple of months. Now, Bitcoin over the past couple of months has been pretty stagnant, roughly at consolidation within the monthly bullish fair value gap. But compared to ETH, like, you could just tell this has just been an absolute bloodbath, a shit show, something that we can't even like. This has just been death. And once this kind of shows the sign of life, which I believe that at some point it will, it's either going to do it here at the run of this sell side liquidity low. It has to have some sort of retracement into a monthly previous high, because like we haven't taken out a previous monthly high since May of 2024, which is crazy. But I mean, there's nothing that you can do about it. We've just been dumping month after month, and I'm assuming that this low will probably be next if we show no sign of life at the run of this low. So in my personal opinion, it's either we bounce here, we trade into an internal range liquidity pool, and then go lower, kind of like this, allowing ETH to then have another run lower to take out this resting low here. So I'm assuming that this is probably where we're going to end up going if this monthly gap gets closed off. That is only if we close off this monthly gap. So if we close this gap off, then we're going to see price start attacking these lows. But I can't really give a tell on Bitcoin until I see this monthly gap get lost. But as of right now, there's just massive SMT within this monthly bullish fair value gap that I'm not going to ignore, because price could consolidate and accumulate within here while ETH just runs all of these lows. Because if we do and we continuously run lows, this is just all SMT, like all of these lows here. Bitcoin has just been very, very strong. So as of right now, this is basically like what we're working with. If you look and compare the lows, all like that. You just need a solid down close candle, closer above, and then price to trade higher. And then price will be good. But we'll see how this goes out. And on top of that, how March's monthly candle closes. Even on the weekly chart right now, like the weekly, doesn't look too bad. We have this weekly gap here. This is another thing that I really don't want to see. Like this, in my personal opinion, this weekly gap is the last line of defense for Bitcoin. And if we lose this gap, then we're going to start going lower. And if we go lower on Bitcoin and we lose this gap, then my next area of interest would be this weekly gap all the way down here below sub 50K. Sub 50K, weekly unmitigated fair value gap. This is where I would see if we lost and closed below this weekly bullish fair value gap. If we lost this gap, we're going to see Bitcoin trade back into it and then come down here. This is what I would assume if this is closed off. Scary sight, but price only does one of two things. It takes out old highs and lows and rebalances imbalances. And with this happening and with this being the case, if we lose the last line of defense, this unmitigated bullish fair value gap, and we do not take out the highs again, then it's going to be a wrap. And the next area of interest will be this untagged fair value gap on ETH. There's just no doubt in my mind. And it will also be guaranteed if we lose this monthly bullish fair value gap in the next 13 days. Now let's go over some altcoins right now. Cardano is still within this monthly gap here. Actually, no, I want to go over Total 3. Total 3 is still within here, inside of this monthly gap, just like Bitcoin. And kind of in the same sort of situation. Weekly gap, monthly gap too. Hopefully we get to see the monthly external range high if crypto goes in our favor. Now back to our altcoins. I still want to see if Total 3 can go higher. I still want to see Cardano hold this monthly bullish fair value gap and go higher from here. And same thing with CRV. I want to see CRV still hold this monthly bullish fair value gap as well and go higher. I've just been accumulating my positions or my spot positions within these monthly PD arrays. And as price consolidates within it, then I will hold the position, and I'm completely fine with that. So if we could just hold these gaps, I'm fine with whatever happens next. But that is pretty much, I guess, what I'm looking at and how I'm viewing the markets right now. We actually called out Solana. Solana was a perfect play out. We talked about this last month too, with how, actually not even last month, the month before that, after we took out the all-time highs again, we called out in the previous stream, if price closed below the down close candle here, or the up close candle here, that swept all-time highs and cleared all this resting liquidity here. If we close below this candle's opening price, which we did here, the next candle, this candle here, will be labeled as an order block. And then we would expect to see price trade back up into that POI and sell off. And look at what happened. We traded back up into that POI, legitimately had a scam pump. Pumped up, massive candle day into what? We literally had a 25% jump to then having literally following that, having a 22% drop. Like, come on. Legitimately, these key levels and these PD arrays that I mark off are very significant and very important because they do something in regards to the price delivery. And now, I don't see anything of interest to me on Solana until legit $79. $79, that looks like a good buy zone for Solana. Up until then, I don't give a shit about it. Nothing until 79. That's literally it for me. I don't have any more Atom. Lost my interest. Don't have any more AVAX. Lost my interest. Link is in the same sort of same sort of like area that CRV and Cardano were in. So those two are good. And other than that, it's literally just waiting until we get a confirmation as to what's going on with these guys. That's literally it. Legit, just waiting. But that's pretty much all I got in regards to the outlook, what we're anticipating for price delivery. Last line of defense for Bitcoin here, this weekly gap. Last line of defense for ETH, this monthly gap. And other than that, this is going to be a big tell as to what we're going to be doing next. If we lose this gap, we're going here. It's imminent. If we don't lose the gap and we hold here, then all-time highs again. It's as simple as that. But that is pretty much everything that I got on board for Bitcoin, ETH, Total 3, altcoins, and the outlook. But like always, guys, be safe, be easy. Good luck, good trading for the rest of the week. And I will see you again next Sunday for the next outlook as to how we performed on crypto. But take care, everybody.